welcome. My name is Maria, and thank you so much for checking out my channel. I really appreciate it. I am a mom of 4 kiddos, and as a family of 6, our fridge is constantly messy and constantly unorganized. So I try every Friday to kind of take stock of what is left in the fridge, just from the busy school week and all of that, and kind of do a clean out at the same time. Now today I'm doing a really deep clean out since it hadn't been done in a while, and I like to place my grocery orders on Sunday nights for pickup on Mondays if all goes according to plan. So it's nice to kind of take stock of what I have going into the weekend, trying to use up whatever needs to be used up, and knowing what things I need to get when I place my order on Sunday nights. So we have a side by side, so therefore we don't have a ton of room. But as I just showed you, our fridge is kind of cool. The front part of the fridge is kind of like a secret door, and that's where we store all our condiments, like the kids' water bottles, that sort of thing. So it kind of gives us a little extra space, because a side by side can definitely lack in space. But what I like to do when I really deep clean is, for me, it's just easier to take the shelves out. They're easy to remove, they're easy to put back in. So it's much easier for me to just take off shelf by shelf, bring it to the sink, wipe it, wash it down, dry it off, put it back in. And then as I'm going down, I'll take out things that need to be thrown out, things that I can move into the now clean shelves, that sort of thing. And it seems to work out nicely this way, and the shelves get nice and clean, and I don't have to worry about wiping, reaching in the back, trying to wipe the glass and all that, when I could just remove it and do in the sink. It really does make it a lot easier. So now I'm just reorganizing and trying to get this fridge ready for a restock and a new week. So we found some questionable things in the back of the refrigerator. A lot of crumbs. I think that might have been some type of balsamic leftovers that was really just stuck to the bottom of the fridge. So I had to take a little butter knife and kind of, scrape it up the best I could. And I got it off, but it was definitely living back there for a long time. And these big bins can be a pain in the butt to wash in the sink because they're so huge. But I figured I already had to take it out to get to the balsamic in the back. So I'm just giving it a wipe down. Okay, so I slowed this next part up a little bit just so you can somewhat appreciate how long it took me to figure out how to put this shelf back in the refrigerator. Please tell me I'm not the only one that takes something apart and then can never figure out how to put it back together. I always tell myself I should take a picture of things so that I know when it comes time to putting it back together that I won't have to do what I'm doing right now. But I don't listen. I don't ever listen. Finally did it, got it in there, and now this is kind of what I have left, going through some remainders of some veggies that I'm going to put in containers, some spinach that was looking questionable. So I saved the good spinach, just put it in a baggie with a paper towel. We'll finish that up this weekend. And doing the same with the big bin of lettuce too, just so we don't have to take up all that space. And gonna be taking the grapes out, any last little bits of fruit that we have. I usually will put it out because that way it'll get eaten and not wasted. Now this is our little secret compartment door that I was telling you about in the beginning of the video. Cleaning it off, that top shelf right there, I forgot that it's impossible to get out, and it's even more impossible to get back in. So that's a tough one. So that one I'm just wiping down. These other ones, yep, we're going to go back to before, where I can't figure out how to put it back in, which way it goes back in. But, yep, didn't take me quite as long this time. But these can be a little bit of a pain. Most of the time I'll just wipe them out. But today I was feeling ambitious. So this is what everything that was in that door. So just gonna go through it, see what's expired, what's good to go back in, what needs to get tossed. I am like completely out of salad dressings. I mean, we're down to the bare bones. How could that, I don't understand how that happened. So I have to load up on some good salad dressings for the summer, maybe make some of my own. Yeah, we have to up our salad dressing game. So this is kind of what I'm left with. The kids, always ask for Gatorades and Powerades and then take 2 sips of them and then they get thrown out, which is very wasteful. So I'm gonna practice what I preach and try not to. I say I'm not going to buy them, and then I buy them. So this is the finished result of the door and the fridge. Nice and shiny. Everything's put back in its place. In the inside, everything is pretty organized. Hopefully we'll go through the rest of this in time for our new stock up on Monday. Vegetable bin, bread carb bin. I was hoping to get to the freezer too this day, and that I ran out of time. So we definitely have to do the freezer. And we don't keep a ton of drinks in this fridge because we do have a fridge in our mudroom / laundry room that we put in specifically for sodas and seltzers and, all those other types of drinks. And then we have a freezer in there as well. That's just kind of overstock stuff. So that'll be another day of cleaning that fridge and freezer out, and then this freezer too. I'd like to try to get to sooner than later. And now I'm just wiping down the front, which was so bad And I just use a microfiber cloth and water. That's all I use. I use a wet microfiber cloth and water, wipe it down, go with the lines of the fridge when you're wiping, and then I get a dry microfiber cloth and I dry it. That way, if it was to dry on your own without you wiping it, it kind of leaves those marks. I don't know, my fridge leaves marks behind. So I go over it with a dry microfiber cloth, and it does the trick. Every now and then I'll wipe it down with more of like an actual cleaner, but today we were just doing that, and it did the trick. And now I had a little bit leftover time, so I did decide to just give my sink a rub down, just getting all the gunky stuff and all that out of the sink. And I'm going to use Barkeeper's Friend to scrub the inside of the sink. Love that stuff. Works like a charm every time. So we're just going to get that in there. We're going to wet the sponge, and when you're cleaning it, I like to kind of use circular motions, and it gets the sink, especially the stainless steel, nice and shiny. It forms sort of like a paste, and I just rub all around, and it does the job every time. I like to keep that stuff on stock. I just used the rest of that one up, and I have another one ready to go. So just giving this a quick wipe down, and then we're going to do a little easy natural trick to get your drain nice and clean. Okay, so now we are going to use 1 cup of vinegar, distilled white vinegar, half a cup of baking soda, and hot water to kind of just freshen up the drain. So I poured in that half a cup of baking soda, followed by the cup of vinegar, and you can see it doing its thing, getting all nice and bubbly. And you're going to let this sit for about 10 to 20 minutes. I had about 15 minutes, so that's what I did. And then when that timer goes off, you're going to see it's kind of stopped fizzing, kind of at the end of that. And you're just going to put your sink on the hottest water possible. Now, a lot of people can do boiling water, and that's fine too, but I didn't have time to boil water. So I just let my sink run on the hottest water possible and rinsed all that out. And then I'm freshening it up with a lemon that I otherwise would have tossed in the garbage. Thanks for hanging out with me today. Hopefully you got some motivation to do your end of the week fridge clean out. And I'll be seeing you in the next one. Bye, guys.